Chapter 19, The Prodigal Doubter. Taserface now! Now! Jenny shouts. Your powers aren't just about energy and flying. You can manipulate atoms and control gravity. How do you know this? You can what? Wait. Oh man, I forgot her voice already. Oh, excuse me? Prodigal says, the smile disappearing from her face. It's true, Grandma says at your side. We didn't know. We didn't want you to know. The things you can do, they're horrible. You're horrible. Wait. How could Grandma and Jenny have kept this from you? How could they? Don't try to use the atomics, Taserface. Is that a line from Dune? It's too unstable here under the plants. The plant. Jenny barks. Woof woof. Bend gravity. You have to do it now. What the frick? What? Deus Ex Machina, eat your heart out. What on earth is Jenny talking? You've always been most annoying, Jennifer. Prodigal interrupts, pointing her laser gun at Jenny. You only have a second to react. Attempt to use gravity infinibility. Power cost unknown. That means free, right? Toss some grenade marbles at Prodigal to slow her down. Throw an energy shield or energy. Let's do that one. It sounds cool. I want to see it fail awesomely. You react blindly, the best way to react, trying to extend your flight powers to Prodigal somehow. You feel a stab of pain rip into your abdomen and your levels drop dangerously. However, Prodigal's gun does shift to the right, causing the laser blast to miss Jenny by inches. This buys you precious seconds to get more instructions. Tell me what to do. Just focus on the feeling you get when you fly, and apply it to the cage bars, Jenny shouts. You lock your eyes on the metal bars and tense your muscles the way you do when you want to fly. But instead of lifting your own body, you focus on lifting the bars. With enormous strain, you watch as the bars twist and pull upward, making enough space for you to escape. That's unreal. Unlike flying, or stanky bean energy. You feel like you have used half your power level to do this, but it doesn't matter. You're free, and it's time to take Prodigal down. I'm gonna fight. Drain Prodigal's health to boost my power. That sounds like Black Magic's cup of tea. I like it. It's not a move you like to use often. Okay. Because it would be lethal if used improperly. But the kid gloves are now off with Prodigal. You extend a stanky bean energy cord that latches onto Prodigal's arm and immediately begins to leech health. Prodigal reacts quickly, flipping backward and generating one of her kick shields. The energy drain breaks, and you realize Prodigal will be able to block most of your long-range attacks, so it's time to go close range. But I still got some health, right? You rush at Prodigal, generating a layer of stanky bean energy armor around yourself for protection. Ready to strike, you construct an energy weapon to attack with. Boxing gloves, a sword, a giant hammer. So I'm a huge fan of boxing. Or punching, I guess, rather, not boxing per se. Why would I put gloves on? That's stupid. I'd go brass knuckles. That's stupid. Sword, too generic. A hammer, giant hammer sounds like the best thing to do, obviously. You swing your arms wildly, throwing the stanky bean hammer directly at Prodigal. Prodigal ducks under your blow with impossible speed. That's impossible. Then swivels around to kick you in the face. Luckily, your energy armor takes the brunt of the blow, but Prodigal quickly disarms you by blasting you point blank with another oversized plasma gun. I don't think it was oversized. If it was oversized, it wouldn't have worked. I think it was appropriately sized for what it did. You feel your energy armor fall away, so you strike out with your knee, connecting with Prodigal's stomach. She groans and drops her weapon. You step back to strike again, but Prodigal moves faster, whipping her fist at your face. You feel one of her fingers break as it connects with your jaw, cracking a molar. My armor sucks. I should have made it spiky. That's what I would have done. You both howl with pain, staggering away from each other. As you spit out bits of shattered tooth and blood, oh wow, you notice out of the corner of your eye that Grandma has begun to climb out of the gap you made in the cage. Seeing that Grandma is alright, you decide it might be time to recharge your power level. Recharge, : Your power level is at 45 and your health level is at 60. Do you think you need to recharge to survive this brawl with Prodigal? I do. I think I do. But I don't know! If only I could drop a save point here and just reload back to it over and over again. That's how I read Choose Your Own Adventure books. Drop save points, aka my fingers in the pages. But power level at 45 seems pretty high. I don't really... Because there's enough things in this story that affect my levels silently behind the scenes without telling me so, I don't have a very good concept of how much stuff I can burn through. Like, 15 moves is the most expensive thing. 15 energy for a move is the most expensive thing I've seen so far. And I haven't really done like 3 things in a fight. Like, I expect a fight to end pretty quickly. But if, like, my armor is training energy levels, then that could, ruin my math. Ditto for the health. I don't really know how much health I had going into this. I assume like 120, which means she dealt like 60 damage with a punch, right? Which means I'm dead, basically, once I recharge my health. But I could just take her out. I mean, this could be a trap for me to give her, Prodigal, a time to recuperate. And I don't want to give her that chance. So let's not waste time recharging. If this goes maximally poorly, if it goes anything better than maximally poorly, then this doesn't apply. But if it goes maximally poorly, I promise I will click a million times, spend the next half hour of my life clicking to get back to this point as near as I can and try a different ending. Let's go. As you turn back toward Prodigal... Wait, what did I click? I didn't even see what option I picked just now. God dang it. Did I choose nothing? Did I choose the default first option? As you turn back toward Prodigal, something hot rips into your hand, causing you to scream. While you were distracted, Prodigal blasted you with one of her weapons, though her aim is a bit off, it seems. Or at least that's what you think, until you look down and see that Prodigal's blast has incinerated your parents' silvered ring. All that remains is a charred band of ash. Was the ring on my finger? Prodigal knew exactly what she was aiming for. "Oh, did I destroy your precious?" Prodigal says, smiling once again. "How clumsy of me!" The sight of the destroyed ring makes your vision flash red. This ends now. Silence Prodigal with my fists. I like the sound of that, and it's free. But, yeah, let's do that. Infinite sounds stupid. You hurl yourself at Prodigal, your hands reaching for her throat, but she reacts quickly, nailing you in the stomach with a kick. Ignoring the pain, you spin around, from a stomach kick? You mean like a flip around? And fling your fists, sling your fist into the base of Prodigal's skull. What happened here? So here's Prodigal. Here's me. I come flying at her. She kicks me in the stomach. I flip around and then punch her in the back of the skull? What is happening here? With a loud choking noise, Prodigal falls forward, landing on the ground in a limp heap. You stare down at Prodigal, breathing heavily. Hey, that worked. Maybe. In the Holo movies, they make it seem like you can take a dozen hits and still remain standing. But you know the truth. One critical blow is all it takes to do some serious damage. That reminds me, in high school, I had a math teacher who told me that the movie They Live had the most realistic fight scene of any movie he'd ever seen. Now, while They Live is one of the best movies of all time, unironically, that fight scene is friggin' not realistic at all. They take a million hits, like they're dumping trash cans on each other, like entire dumpsters, and just falling down and getting back up. It's so long. It's kind of great because of it, but realistic is not what I'd use, and I don't think he was joking, which is a little weird. With Prodigal down for the count, you turn back to the cages to find that Grandma has already freed Jenny. "That was very impressive, Taserface," Grandma says. "I only wish I had gotten a piece of her." But you're too furious to celebrate. Why didn't you tell me about this Infinity-class powered ability? "We didn't want you to be overwhelmed," Grandma says. "We wanted you to be ready for—" "You had no right to keep this from me. You have no honor." I wanted to tell you that your grandma's right," Jenny said. "The things you'll be able to do, it might be better not to even explore this kind of power, foe." "That's a decision I should have been able to make for myself. It's not your place to—" "We don't have time for this," Jenny yells. "We need to find a way out of here, now." Forcing your frayed nerves to calm, you scan the room, and immediately spot the telelock that brought you here sitting on a computer console across the bunker. But as you move to retrieve it, you also realize that Prodigal isn't on the ground anymore. "Prodigal is up! Everyone get close! Yeah, group up so you can all get taken out by one shot." You shout, ready to generate an energy shield. "There'll be no need for that," Prodigal says. You, Grandma, and Jenny all spin to find Prodigal, now standing in the corner of the bunker, wearing some kind of elaborate metal bodysuit. Before any of you can react, Prodigal plugs 2 large syringes into her veins. Then she screams. How metal. She's gonna go Bane on us? "It's done," Prodigal says, composing herself. "I'll make this very simple for all of our loyal viewers at home. I have created the ultimate weapon, a machine that generates a solid wall of energy, stretching 10 miles high and wide." As Prodigal speaks, she doesn't look so good. She has started to sweat and her cheeks have turned a pale shade of yellow. But generates it where? We're under the Big Sur fusion plant because I needed a power source of nuclear proportions. Now that I have tapped into the reactor above, the wave has activated. It's set to sweep west from here to the ocean, decimating Millennial City in its wake. Oh, it's a wave now, not a wall. Once Prodigal finishes speaking, a video monitor sparks to life, displaying a solid black wall of energy moving across the remains of Burns State Park, which was paved over to build MC years ago. As the miles-wide death wave moves, it incinerates everything in its path. Oh, it's bad energy, not just like caffeine, which I guess is bad energy, but I mean, it could be like a free power source. Like, my batteries are charged, yay! Luckily, there's nothing but wildlife between the Big Sur fusion plant and Millennial City, but it can't be long before the wave reaches the outskirts of the city, not the outskirts. Grandma and Jenny both gasp, and you raise your hands to attack. We got Energy Blast, we got Energy Surge, we got Energy Marbles. These both cost 10. This costs 15. Sure, let's just blast her. Blast her! Not so fast, Prodigal screams. Did that still take 15? We'll see. Blasting the generators won't help. I was sure to make it rather durable. Impervious, one might say. Luckily, my energy blasts make impervious steel suits pervious. It's got a coating of some delicious new metal I brewed called Madanium. Madenium? You hesitate for a moment, then jump as a loud bang echoes across the cave. You turn to Jenny, who has picked up one of Prodigal's guns and fired it at the generator's suit, but the shot just bounces off the generator's sleek metal surface and doubles back, knocking Jenny clean off her feet. Wow, what are the odds of that? Grandma rushes to her side. She indicates that Jenny is alive, just unconscious. Then I blast only stunned her, thanks Slugger. Told you so, Prodigal whines. My powers are directly fueling the generator along with the nuclear boost, hence the need for this rather slimming bodysuit. So as long as my heart is still beating, that wave marches on, which I'm afraid leaves us in another harsh reality. No, not again, you think, following Prodigal's logic. The only way to stop that wave now is to kill me. Okay, Prodigal says, locking eyes with you. It looks like you have another moral dilemma to face, Taserface. Become a cold-blooded murderer to save millions of lives, or spare me and risk the death of an entire city. Your heart pounds. You can't possibly make a choice this big, blam! Oh, and the wave hits the first populated area in about 20 seconds. The very edge of the eastern fringes, no less. Taserface's very own hometown. How fetchingly fitting. So let's pull it together, shall we? Why is Prodigal doing this? If she really wanted all these people to die, she'd never tell you how to stop her. Besides, Prodigal can't really want you to kill her, can she? It makes no sense, but then again, Prodigal doesn't exactly seem to be the picture of sanity. In her mind, this is probably win-win. Whatever you do, she believes she'll become a legend. This. No, you can't. You can't choose. I already have. Oh, it's all right. Toast her, Grandma says, placing a hand on your shoulder. Just do what your parents would have done. You stare into Grandma's eyes, and she nods back at you, resolute. Yeah, kill her like you killed her mom. You know exactly what to do. Kill her and save millions of lives. Boom-boom-ba-doo! Achievement. Killing Prodigal. You charge a deadly surge of energy in your forearms, locking eyes with Prodigal. Oh, Taserface, Prodigal says, a sad smile crossing her face. Without hesitation, you unleash a torrent of energy. Prodigal screams as the blast rips a hole through the exposed part of her chest. Of course, it's a suit, and it's a female superhero suit, so it has to be revealing. The exposed part of her chest. She lingers for a few seconds before her body finally slumps to the ground, a smile still twisted across her face. You stare at Prodigal, mouth open. You just killed someone. Grandma doesn't say anything, and you can't bear to look at her. Instead, you turn to the screen to find the wave has stopped Fringe life, saved millions. You did it. You defeated Prodigal and saved your city, but at what cost? I don't really care. Next chapter, Equal and Opposite. This seems like a finale, so I'm gonna keep going. If it's not a finale, it's gonna be a long episode. You sit in Jenny's apartment, wrapped in a blanket, a cup of steaming tea in front of you. Grandma is resting, and Jenny is taking a shower, which leaves you alone, sitting in your costume, not quite able to move. You just feel relieved. It's all over. This terrible night is finally over, and you survive. What happened tonight was surreal. Your life has been ripped to shreds. Prodigal tried to take everything from you. Your sidekick, your secret identity, your reputation, your privacy, Sonya, my Sonya, your accomplishment, your career, your chance at a legendary reveal, and the things Prodigal made you do, the choices she forced you to make. You never once imagined being a hero would be this hard. Was it always meant to be this way? Was Prodigal right? Were you two always destined to ruin each other the way your parents did? I'm not ruined. After all, Prodigal is done. I don't know what life is anymore. I refuse to allow Prodigal to take my ability to trust. That one. Screw Prodigal. So what if you've been surrounded by lies? Now you know to look harder for the truth. Never trust Grandma, but you can't help but think. You can't help but think that you're now a murderer, just like your parents. Cool. You killed Prodigal. Sure, you did it to save lives, but the fact remains that you've taken a life. Still, I'll do it again given the chance. Given the chance? Oh boy, here I go killing again. Not quite that. We'll do this one. While it may have been wrong to use Fatal Force. No, it wasn't wrong. Yeah, let's look at the first one. Don't back down. It was a tough call, but you know you did the right thing, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Though you have no idea what happened to Prodigal's body, right after the wave stopped, her corpse vanished. She must have had some war tech rigged to remove her body if she were ever to die, or at least that's what Jenny thinks. The same goes for Prodigal's interactive video masterpiece. It was automatically released to the press the moment the death wave went active. In the wake of the wave, your grand battle with Prodigal has become a must-see news item. It's being viewed right now across all of MC, maybe even across the nation. But at the end of it all, the fact remains that you saved Millennial City. Period. You succeeded in stopping the worst wave of potential terrorism on American soil, and now the entire city knows it. However, you also killed someone to do it. Even though many people must be congratulating your bravery, just as many will probably ask if there could have been another way. Screw them. Geez, so many achievements. I'm an outlaw, apparently. Hello, Jenny says as she walks in, scrubbing behind her ears with a towel. How are you? You give Jenny a look. Does she even have to ask? I know we've been through hell tonight, she says, sitting next to you, but there are some decisions we have to make right away. Whatever it is, it can wait until morning, you say, barely even recognizing your own voice. It sounds tinny, bouncing in between your ears. No, actually it can't. I replugged my Me chip when I've just been through my messages. I thought that was me, Algernon. You and Jenny managed to scrounge up your Me chips before porting out of Prodigal's lair. You've been anxious to reconnect, but also afraid of what you'll find when you do. You'd much rather hear whatever news is coming in through Jenny right now. Jenny looks at you, growing stern. Nothing has been decided for certain yet, but it looks like they might try to press criminal charges, Foe, for murdering Prodigal. What is the point of being a costumed hero? Your words slide off of you. You find it impossible to absorb much of anything at this point. I know you did your best to save whoever you could, Jenny tries, but it seems your lawless track record is coming back to bite you. The MCPD will know to come looking for you here soon. What do you want to do? Yeah, turn myself in? Thanks for not giving me that option. Evade the law. The law doesn't matter to me, you say, and I'm not going to start bending to its will now, especially when I was only trying to save lives. Jenny sighs. If that's what you want, we'll figure out a way to keep you hidden. Luckily, we shouldn't have to worry about that for another couple of hours while they sort through the mess. I won't have enough money for bail, so getting arrested isn't an option. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Foe. Next, we have to decide how you want to handle the press, if at all. Kill them, Jenny says, looking more tired than you've ever seen her. If she looked that rough, you don't even want to know what you look like. Because I've had it worse, of course, obviously, because I'm the hero. I'm not saying a word to the press, you say. At the end of the day, you've been more focused on justice than playing at fame. You've always tried to do the right thing, and that's all that matters. Tarana Rain is back with her parents safely, Jenny says, moving on. It's been quite a night for her, but after Prodigal kidnapped us and left her behind, she went straight home. Jenny pinches her elbow once more and you brace yourself. Foe, Tarana's parents, never want to see her again? Never want me to see her again, you finish. Jenny nods. However you feel about Tarana, you know that's probably for the best. Indeed. I should have been able to detect she was going to betray me. That's what I could have known. I never want to hear Tarana Rain's name again. Let's stick with the first one. I don't really care. Once a selfish brat, always a selfish brat. Yes, that's the spirit. You'll definitely think twice about ever taking on another sidekick again. Silence ensues, and to your surprise, you find that your head isn't even spinning anymore. Perhaps you're finally getting used to the level of insanity your life has reached. Then, Grandma enters the living room, and you get to reeling again. Grandma looks so sad. You just want to hug her, but you still haven't forgotten of all the lies she told you. What do you say to her? I'm not gonna go full-on cold heartless. We'll go, Jenny needs more plants around here, doesn't she? Sure, she sure does, Grandma says, sitting next to you. You thought mentioning plants might help cheer Grandma up, but it appears to only have made her sadder. Well, it's good you're up here, because I have some bad news, Jenny says. Your place as the PFPP as Sterling is pretty useless now that you've been publicly outed by Prodigal. The PFPP is most certainly going to kick you out. So the hits just keep coming. What is that going to mean for life for you and Grandma? Everything is going to change now that everyone knows who you are in every possible way. You suppose this is just the first shift. Don't worry, there are already talks of launching a special program to offer you both protection, Jenny says. But even still, you're going to have to move. Whatever the PFPP can do to help would be amazing. Jenny nods, and you can't help but think about how much she has done for you. Another silence ensues. You know exactly what is on everyone's minds. When are you going to mention Jenny and Grandma's big Infinity-class powered lie? And how are you going to talk to Grandma about the letters she forged? Is there anything else you two have been keeping from me? Listen to me, foe, Grandma says, taking your hand. I want to clear the air about a few things. Anything I've ever done, I did because I thought it was the best for you. It may have been wrong to write your parents on your behalf, but I knew someday you'd regret having stopped. Is this her still? I know you feel that your parents abandoned you, but they had no choice. But you abandoning them, that was your choice. And there's a difference, foe. A big difference. Grandma's words sink in, and as much as you don't want to hear them, you know she's right. That being said, if tonight has proven anything, it's that you're all grown up. You're not a child anymore, and I need to realize that, so I won't write another letter, I promise. That choice is up to you now. Thank you, Grandma, you say, feeling a bit better, but you're not quite finished. And my powers? You look from Grandma to Jenny, and they both sigh. This new level of power you have, no one has seen anything like it before, Grandma starts. The experts always said it might be possible to empower legacy children, but we weren't sure. At least not until your power started flaring around technology, Jenny says, cutting in. We know the origin of all powers is rooted in technological evolution, which is why your new powers behave strangely when mingling with technology. They say that's the first sign of Infinity-class power, an odd interface with tech. At least that's the working theory for now. All we did know was that kind of power can change a person, Grandma finished. We just wanted to protect you, to wait until we were sure you were mature enough to handle the responsibility. After all, look what the power did to Prodigy. You look from Grandma to Jenny, then say, I'll learn how to use these powers responsibly. You should have always known that. You should have always known that. Grandma and Jenny stay silent, which you know means they think you're right. But you're not quite finished. Listen, what's done is done. I think we need to start over with a clean slate, right here and now. No matter what, there can't be any more secrets. We all need to trust each other. There's too much at stake now. We have to be honest with each other about everything, all right? Grandma and Jenny both nod, seemingly impressed with your speech. How easy that was. All you can do is hope, and they'll continue to take you this seriously. Oh, and Grandma, you say, you're definitely getting a me chip installed. You don't have a choice in the matter. We're gonna chip Grandma. Grandma opens her mouth to protest, but catches herself and nods once again. I'm very proud of you, foe, Grandma says. You're a hero. Don't let anyone ever tell you differently. Jenny looks at you, reaffirming Grandma's thoughts. All you can think is, what would you do without these two? For a moment, sitting here with Jenny and Grandma, you start to feel right again. So, this will be the final chapter, Sitting in the Morning Sun. If the video cuts off here, that means it's long enough for another episode. If the video keeps going, then it's short. Chapter 21, Sitting in the Morning Sun. Once showered and changed, you sneak up to the roof. You've got to be moving on soon. Jenny found a temporary safe house for you and Grandma to stay in until you find a more permanent place to settle. But before you go there, you need a moment alone to clear your head. And nothing else helps you do that like taking in the MC skyline, which is currently set against the rising sun. How are you feeling about everything that happened over the past few weeks? Bittersweet, that's too real. In all the madness, it's easy to forget why I became a hero in the first place. I don't know. I'll stick with bittersweet. Why not? Let's have it real on the and on the back end. Nothing is like you expected it to be. You think back to your naive self just a few short weeks ago and can barely recognize that person. It seems that entering the real world has only meant having to accept harsh realities and realizing that hope isn't always enough. After all that has happened, it would be so easy not to trust people, to expect things not to work out for you, because more often than not, they just don't. But you're starting to understand that it takes a very strong person to be able to hold on to hope, to still expect great things even when there's no reason to. You've come a long way, but you know you've still got miles left to go to end up where you want to be. It may take a lot of hard work and patience, but you're never going to stop. One thing's for sure, though. You've definitely arrived in Millennial City. By the time the sun finishes rising, everyone in the city is going to know your name. But how the public perceives you will be entirely based on your legend level. Algernon, you think, feeling much better now that you've reconnected with your Meechip. Check my legend level and my status on the legend report, please. The familiar image of Meechip Algernon appears in your mind, this time wearing a pinstripe suit. At your service, sir, he says with a smile, though may I first say it's rather excellent to be back. I missed you quite a bit while I was gone. I missed you too, Algernon. Meechip Algernon beams at you before fading under your legend level, which has landed at level 44. Scrolling down, you start to read your legend report. Your legend has reached a level that is average. You could have entered with a level as high as 70, or, conversely, in the negatives. Okay, I'm fine then with 44. As a result, your reputation is split. Half of Millennial City's heroic community seems to think you're a great hero, while the others think you're a total hack. As someone who prides their heroic persona on upholding justice, it's a bit difficult that people aren't in agreement about you always doing the right thing. You wish everyone could see your commitment to justice, but you'll have to settle for what you have, for now. Perhaps if your choice had resulted in a higher legend level, things might have worked out a bit better. What do you mean? They're perfect! Things couldn't have gone better. Given how your legend level and perception and MC turned out, how do you feel about your place in the heroic world? Frickin' great! You've done all you could and risen high in a very short time. What more could you ask for? Your Meechip buzzes and you expect a call from Jenny telling you to come back downstairs. But when you see that it's black magic calling instead, your stomach does a somersault. Blah! I know you probably don't want to hear from me, Black Magic says, appearing in front of you, but we've both been through a lot, so there is something I wanted to ask you. Black Magic pauses, and even with his brow furrowed that way, he still looks more gorgeous than you can stand. Will you ever be okay with my secret? Black Magic asks, with who I really am. You stare at Black Magic, considering your answer very carefully. Heck no! Heck no! Where does he get off calling me back? Like he didn't even help me! What a piece of crap! No! No! No hesitation. Black Magic starts, his eyes hitting the floor. Fine. I'm sorry, you try. No, I'm not. Don't be. And with that, Black Magic hangs up on you. You might feel bad. Nope. But you know this is for the best, right? You can't help but think of how rare it is for you to connect with someone. All you can do is hope you've made the right choice here. Heck yes. You turn to walk back downstairs because it's time to move on. Prodigal has been taken down. The supply circle is dismantled. You fiddled things with Black Magic and the Millennial Group. You were named MC's HOT, one way or another. You've made some money, and you saved countless lives. You're ready to move on and face whatever comes next with Jenny and Grandma by your side. Even after everything that has happened, you feel a spark of excitement thinking about what the future holds for you. Because no matter what, you can now call yourself a powered hero. And no one can take it away from you. Another finale! Epilogue, the letter V. You open the staircase door when you hear someone say your name. You turn to find Mayor Victon standing across the roof, his folded arms crinkling in an expensive suit. Just thought it was my duty as mayor to check in on Millennial City's fastest rising hero, he says, or fastest falling, depending on your perspective. What do you want? I want to tell you something, he says, losing the smile. The smile. As Mayor Victon walks towards you, the breeze carries a whiff of his sharp colon. You have to force yourself not to gag. Oh, Jury senses best, by the way, Mayor Victon says, handing you a holo card. You look down, and of course the card is a shirtless headshot of Jury. A shirtless headshot. Why would he wear a shirt on his head? Is that his costume that I missed? Did I miss that detail somewhere? You shake your head and flip the holo card, reading. So sorry to hear what happened with Prodigal, kitty. Looks like you're getting everything in life you deserve. Clenching your jaw, you drop the holo card and let it sweep into a pile of dirt. Not in a chippa mood, are we? Mayor Victon starts. Well, that's alright. I just came here to say one thing. What Prodigal did to you was terrible. No one should have to go through what you did. You hear Mayor Victon and all you can think is, what is his angle? Indeed, I've been tracking Prodigal since Miss Artillery's death. She had quite a troubled childhood. She spent her entire life fending for herself, without anyone who cared about her. Despite the fortune she eventually inherited, I believe she ended up living in a sewer drain for some time, then an abandoned asylum, which explains her lack of documentation and her rather unique disposition. Anyway, all that's rather irrelevant. You can't help but feel the slightest bit of pity for Prodigal. Nope. Is that what would have happened to you if you didn't have Grandma? What is relevant, however, is the fact that I've known of Prodigal's existence for quite some time now. I suppose I could have had her committed or arrested at any time, but I just wanted you to know that I chose not to. Mayor Victon smiles at you once again, a cruel, lifeless smile. You see, little foe, I may not be able to attack you openly, not with that pesky last name of yours, but there are more ways than one to skin a cat. You stare at Mayor Victon, balling up your fists. Mayor Victon knew about Prodigal all this time and did nothing to stop her attack on me. He has no honor! Or he's taking credit for something he didn't do to intimidate me, or saying it's true. He's like, blah, 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 blah. He's bluffing. I choose not to believe him. He's too incompetent. Still, it appears you were right to assume you're at war with the Victons. A word to the wise. I'm going to become president someday, foe, Mayor Victon says in a low voice. I hope Meacham Algernon recorded this. And I will crush anyone who stands in my way. Just ask your parents. At this, you turn your back to Mayor Victon. You're not even going to dignify his presence with a response. We'll see about that, you whisper to yourself. And as you walk away, all you can think is, Prodigal isn't the only villain, I'll do everything in my power, and let's do that one. But that's a task for another day, because more than anything, this last visit with Victon has made you feel one thing with absolute certainty. So you walk back downstairs into Jenny's apartment, flooded with determination. We need to get going, Jenny says as you enter. I know, but I need to do something first, you say, right now. Without waiting for Jenny's response, you walk into her bedroom and say to Meacham Algernon, draft document and record. Algernon complies, appearing to jot down your words on a sheet of holo paper. Before you start, you glance down at your finger, the one that used to hold the silvered ring. Until Prodigal destroyed it, the ring may be gone, but burned there into your skin are the words, dare to be stupid, stick your head in the microwave, and give yourself a tan. Period, period. The lyrics wrap around your finger, branded in a place like a tattoo, forever imprinted upon you. And staring at these words, you finally find the courage to speak. Dear Mom and Dad. You say the words and immediately feel a weight lift from your shoulders. I miss you. You hear someone at the door and turn to find Grandma standing there, her eyes brimming. But she doesn't say anything, she simply nods at you and turns to go, leaving you to the task at hand. And as you begin to write the long overdue letter to your parents, you are filled once again with a sense of purpose. For you are reminded what makes you a hero. Would I like to purchase the Perfect Legend Guide? It lists the decisions necessary to achieve a Perfect Legend score. That is scummy. Holy crap, that is scummy! Jeez, game! Holy crap, any goodwill out the window. I was gonna say, at the end of this episode, that I have the sequels to this game, and if people commented and wanted me to read them, I would gladly do so, but I'm not going to. Holy crap, that's vile! That is vile! Please save your game below. You'll need your saved game to continue where left off in the next episode. I mean, I don't like burning bridges all the way. I just like rigging them to explode later. So, faux hammer. And please log in to the games. Okay, never mind. Screw that. Nope, never mind. I don't want to sign up on their system. It's a terrible system. Why can't you just save it locally? Next. Nope, cancel. Thanks for playing. The sequel's available now. Great. Wow. Just end of... What a foul note to end on. Let's push that aside for a second. This was an okay game. And there were a lot of decisions that clearly didn't matter whatsoever, but they were decent decisions from a roleplay perspective. The decisions that did matter, there's a lot of like decisions with points. The point system was clunky and didn't seem to matter really at all. Like, at all. And it was all kind of vague. Like, I'm going to use my power to do this thing or this thing. Like, they're both kind of the same thing. They both either will work or not work. Like, I don't know. While I did get a better ending than Welcome to Morrytown, I definitely enjoyed Welcome to Morrytown more. I think one of the advantages you have with a shorter story is you can actually have real branches. Like, I mean, sure, I didn't get the perfect legendary ending, but that's not a significant branch. I'm pretty sure the events would have played out identically, and I just would have gotten a different grade at the end because of, like, the opinion of people would have been different or some crap like that. Apparently I didn't push that violence to the side, but it's an okay game. Don't have a whole lot to dissect about it. Hope you guys enjoyed reading and playing it, because I definitely did. I had a good time. At the end of the day, I had a good time. I guess that's all that matters. So, thanks for watching. Not sure what game's gonna come up next. Comment if you have any recommendations or anything you'd like to see. If enough people want to see the sequel, I'll do it. But I'm gonna be bitter. Not against you guys. I'm just gonna be super salty the entire time. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna be into it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be cooperative. I'll be into it, but I won't be jovial. So yeah, maybe that would be fun after all. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. See you guys when whatever game comes next. Signature catchphrase.